human being, we always seek for happiness in life. And for those people who are more caring about their own welfare, both physically and mentally, will always look for religious guidance. And this is always the case, is that they are very enthusiastic at first. And after a while, their interest dies off gradually because there's no persistent effort in maintenance, in the maintaining of the practice. And this is something we got to look into it. Some people might get interested with doing certain things, certain good deeds, and they do for a while, and then the interest start to dies off. It's not sustainable, but you got to make it a habit. This instilling this good value, this good habit, we must instill into our characters. The performings of to be generous. This is something, if you were to observe, a lot of people, they are very happy in giving. They feel good, and they always practice giving or generosity, sharing. It makes them feel good. And sometimes when we come across the teachings of Buddha, and we started with what generosity, dana, barami, first thing. This is very important, dana. But most of the people, when they come in, they say, no, we want the best, panya or samadhi, only meditation. So they don't want to do dana, they don't want to do precept, they just want to meditate. It just doesn't work. It won't work. I remember in the West, this has never been encouraged. So they thought that they want to go to a place, they only want to do something and learn something, that's all. But your heart doesn't bear the fruits because you must have the kind of good foundations. When the Buddha talk about dana, it doesn't mean you got to give things or no. It's your sharing, the mind of sharing. It can be your knowledge, your labor, your times, your help. Not just bring food or giving material thing. No, not only that. This is only part and parcel. But you want to encourage your mind state not to be selfish. This is very important. But of course, as a human being, we must be sensible. There was one time one teacher said, you can give anything. And this retreatant, this meditator, he brought a dry leaf and offered. And this teacher just received the thing. But when it comes to Ajahn Jeff, one of my teachers, he said, don't be silly. Bring something like food, toothpaste, or water, or toothbrush or shaver. What can you do with a dry leaf? Next time you want to boil with all the dry leaf? So everybody broke into laughter. So you see, they're always talking about letting go. You shouldn't be attached. You say, no, you got to be sensible. You got to use a common sense. Common sense. And not everything is just close your eyes. This place, Wat Sampatawang, is not going to be a Wat Sampatawang overnight. If nobody sacrificed to find a place, to build a place, to foot the bill, you think people can just come and meditate? Don't be silly, come on. Be more sensitive. This is something we got to instill for people who come later, so that they will be taken away or have the kind of wrong view. Everything, they never meditate, this and all that. Why don't you go and stay in the forest when you keep criticizing people doing this, not doing that? I remember one time we were building and this monk comes very strict. The monk should be meditating. Why the monk's not meditating? The monk's not doing this, the monk's not doing that. And I got one friend, Ajahn Wood. He said, did you see the forest out there? Yeah. Go and camp outside there. Don't stay in the temple. Go and stay in the wood. Go and stalk so much. Go. Your practice. Go and stay in the wood. Don't join the temple. And then he shut up from that day onward. Then he wake up his idea. Oh yeah. We must have the gratitude. We must have what we call gratitude. Appreciative for people's sacrifices. This is something we must instill. We must tell people, the basic Buddha's teaching is sharing, is caring, giving. Not just come and demand and take. No. Of course, we are not saying wanting things from people. No, but this is something we must tell people. If not, people will come with wrong views. We are in the West. We go to the West and we find this something very lacking. And most of the monks, they are so scared to tell the people the truth. That, you got to do something. We are not robots. We cannot operate with no food. And people who bring food, we run our people who bring food, not meditating. This is what happened. So we must find a middle way, the contrast. How? We must have the gratitude. Remember, gratitude. Right? Without the forefather, without those people who come and lay the foundation, you think they can develop until today? No. Even those, a lot of people established by themselves. Where are they help? Where they get the help? Also from the old gods. You see, there's so many places established around the world. You think the local will support you? They don't know. But you need people back home, people who are long. You need all the Buddhists who know the difficulty to assist you. Just like when you cross a bridge, we cross the river, we don't destroy the bridge. We keep the bridge for more people to come. Some people, they cross the river, they destroy the bridge. No. And then they try to be independent, they set up their new thing. No, this is not the way it works. Then how are you going to emphasize that you respect the elder? How are you going to train the people in the later stage? You can't train them because what we call karma, what we do, what we get. This is very important. What is happening now is very scary nowadays, very scary. I look at the whole situation. The mind state of individual is scary. And then we say we are meditating. No, this is all ego, wrong view. Remember, we're going to straighten things out. Then we can, deep inside our mind, we won't have remorse. When anybody say anything, we won't have any remorse or regret or feel bad. No, we are very clear-cut. We are very honest. Oh, don't worry. We have done the right thing. You see, when you do the right thing, there is no remorse. But if we do anything under the influence of our own ego, our own views, we always meet up with a lot of difficulties and a lot of setback, which ourselves will regret later. Regardless of whether you are monk or lay people, same thing. Even lay people, they help each other, and sometimes the friends double cross them because of vested interest. Good friend become enemy. And that's defilement. The same thing. Whether people ordain, you're a monk, you're bhikkhuni, or mechi, or same thing. People are not stupid. They can see whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing. But if you do, your actions speak louder than words. No problem. You don't worry. You'll be blessed. People will support you regardlessly, without demanding anything. People will see, oh, you're doing something good. They will support you, full swing, without your requesting, without you have to making announcement in the Facebook. What? No, people just heard about the goodness. That's why the goodness always pay. The goodness always make a person stand tall and high and without remorse. That's why this is what we call training. This is what we call the suppressing. First we suppress, we control, and later we eradicate. That's why we have all this generosity, training, dana. We have a precept, the restraint of action, our speech, our thoughts. And we have meditation to control the mind. At first, you got to control the mind. People say that, we cannot control. We must let the mind think freely the way it like to do. We just let it be. Hey, what let it be? Your mind say, your defilement bring you to commit all the wrong thing. Are you going to do it? You can't. You must control. That's why the precept is what? Restraint. Restraint is what? Control. There's no such thing as, never mind, discount training, rationalize the thing so that it's not so harsh. And in the end, what kind of training is that? Defilement training. More encouragement, more greed, more hatred, more delusions. And then what happened in the end? You cannot get a peace state of mind because why? We contradict ourselves all the while. We contradict the training of the mind. This is the more crucial part. But before we can come into the mind itself, we got to do this foundation training. Do your dana, practice your mind to be generous, to be forgiving. Practice the mind to, don't take grudges, take things easy, have compassionate with your fellow human being around you, offering your help every time when people need help. We start with that first. Then slowly we move in towards our own actions. The way we speak, the way we spend, on the unskillful action we are doing, which we thought is okay, but after we read the book, this is something we shouldn't be doing. So there's a tug of war. When I say tug of war, that means there must be something has been always been doing all the while, and suddenly there's a training say you can't do it. You got to refrain. Then we find it's very difficult. We try to find a way to work around it, and slowly, gradually we find foothold. We find foothold to stand. We start to meditate, and we start to gain calmness of the mind. We meditate more, and we start to develop more and more wisdom within ourselves. how to sidestep the defilement, how to go around the defilement, how to say no to the defilement, how to say the okay. And this is what we call training gradually. It's a gradual practice until you can fully contain your own defilement within your own means, your own training, and not jeopardizing the peace of other people. I use the word not jeopardizing, not creating pain for other people or trouble for other people. And you can see down here we are very, very, very easy with everyone. You just do whatever thing you want to zoom in, go and do it. It's for your own welfare and happiness. So long you do it, you're happy with yourself, your mind is not in remorse, you can zoom in and do it. You do that, you will go ahead. I'm not going to stop people. This is what we call informal training. You're doing external thing to contain your mind. And you do this internal thing, watching the mind. How this mind progress, then it great. You see, when you're involving something neutral, it's very peaceful. Even though your body might feel a bit tired, but your mind is very, very blissful, very happy, very joyful. And we must look at this mind state. Then we start to do, because we got to respect the general chores of the community, the upkeeping of the whole place, who do this, who do what, how the junior should perform their duty and how the senior should perform the duty. Each one help each other out, how the lay should help out, in what area. It's like a big family. It's just that this is a communal place. We're just like a big family, brothers and sisters staying together. We're doing something good without paid. This is something very inspiring. Without paid, no one is paid. All come with a voluntary heart, without paid. What we want is what boon, is what merits, peace of heart, the happy state of mind, which you will gain from what you're doing, what you have participated in these actions. And this is why we can promote goodness, we can promote good quality for mankind. This is how the whole system works, coincide with each other without dispute. It's very forgiving, very compassionate to each other. This is something we want to encourage. And it's something good human value. Good people who don't want on this world. Everyone want to be good. So remember, we must have the gratitude and to recall the goodness of the pioneer. I use the pioneer, the forefather, people in front of us who have done this place, who have set up this place. The sacrificers, whether big or small, is a sacrificer. I always say anyone come to the temple, even they just come, they just bring a bottle of plain water. I say, yeah, they are very kind. Don't talk about people who bring food. They are not even our relative, but they bring food. We must have gratitude. So remember, the gratitude is very, very important. We are enjoying the fruits of people's sacrifices. Now the question is, what can we give back to people? What can we give back to the place? It's for your information, So we can make this place a good place that people can come and practice. Not only our own welfare and happiness, for everybody's welfare and happiness. Even some people come and just sit down, watch the Buddha image, smiling, and they can get their problem resolved in their heart. Something that's very disturbing up in the mind. So, is this a place? It's good. When people staying at home, they brew over their problem. This is a neutral place. That's why place of worship, we cannot say that, must be this way, must be that way. No, it must be open to people of all walks of life. When they have any problem walking, they can find relief for their mind state, and there is a merit for them. And that will be the sharing for today. A lot of people, they always ask blessing from the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Ask from the blessing from the Triple Gems. They always ask. Success also ask. Even the children want to go to school also ask. Go to the new house also ask. Sick also ask. Everything they ask. Please help me, please help me. But if you were to consider, look at the individual lifestyle, the way they behave, the way they think, nothing to do with the Buddha, it's our own problem. But of course, we have a Buddha as a frame of reference, as a point of focus, because we trust the Buddha can help us. And the Buddha can can only help us if we help ourselves. If we know that we have certain issue in our life, certain problem, certain bad habit, certain laziness, certain ignorance, or bad state of mind, we should change. And we know that we have such shortcoming, we should upgrade ourselves, we should change. And that is the real blessing from the Buddha's teaching. And on the spiritual level, and of course, we recollect in order to instill confidence in our mind. But in our daily life, hand to hand, we got to change. We got to practice mindfulness. We got to have put the kind of effort and struggle to change. Then we can really get a blessing. And we say, the Buddha is very succeed, very powerful. Oh, what I ask, everything come true. And of course, we call it Barami or Satya Barami, the truth, the power of the truth. If you say something, you think of something, you want to do something, make sure you do it. And this is something we got to instill in ourselves. We do it, make sure we do it. And no complaint when we do all the things we do happily, we do voluntarily, without remorse, without complaint. Then our heart will be in a state of normalcy. Our mind will be in a state of normal, very normal. Very helpful, every time very helpful, every time very sacrificing, and no problem. We have the joys in everything we get involved to do. And this is through this kind of sacrifices, this kind of example, this kind of doing that we are able to inspire people to just follow. Like what I've been doing all this while, like doing chanting, even people come. Normally we do our chanting ourselves. And during the Buddha's time, there was no chanting. Chanting is just discussions of Dhamma. And because later generations of trainings, they want to get things straightened out, to be uniform. They assemble because of the increase of the monks, members of the Sangha, uniform groups. They gather then and they do things together in uniforms. So that it looks very uniform, very, very inspiring. This is something this is the later versions. And of course, if you look at the later version, is it good? Yeah, very good. Because there's certain individual that doesn't know what to do. And when you lead by the example of doing, when people see what he or she is doing all the while, and it's a good example, people will follow. And people will inspired and grow the kind of faith in the individual. And this is very important. We say actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. No point talking, and no action. No for. The training is actions speak louder than words. Hands on. I always use the word hands on because living in a community, everybody are grown up. We must use our eye to observe, our ear to listen, our eye to observe. If we see something not being done, we do. We cover the area. If we do something we can help, we help. If we can't help, we anumodana. And of course, we're not going to think of a negative thought that people are taking advantage. There shouldn't be this type of mindset because even the guy, he or she who always take advantage, there won't be happiness in their life because it only reflects us on the individual mind state. That's all. And it also reflects on our mind state of why we keep focusing externally, meddling with outside things, never want to look at ourselves, and why people can do happily. When we look at this, we say, oh yeah, but this is normal because our mind have been all the while have the habit of looking externally. You look at our eye never look inside. When you're about, outside already. You open your eye, you look at outside things. That's why this is the habit. You hear external things. We never come in and look at ourselves. That's why we have all this problem. We always focus on the fault of other people. That's why the Buddha said, have mindfulness. The teaching of the Buddha is to focus on ourselves, train ourselves, look at ourselves, reduce our own ego, our own greed, hatred, delusions. Then no problem. When we want to do something, remember, we ask ourselves, is the floor got problem? The floor got no problem. If I do happily. Even we don't do, the floor got no problem. Of course, the trainers train the mind. You clean inside, clean outside. But while we are cleaning externally, we keep ourselves boiled up. You defeat the purpose of cleaning. You can clean outside, but clean, you don't get the merit. We got so not happy. Why this and why that, blah, 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 all this every time. The mind grumbling. We got to look at this one, focus on it. Oh, okay. Live and let live, remember. Then we got no issue. I remember when I was a young monk in Rayong, I got to clean the whole damn temple. There's so many monks, but nobody is helping. But again, we tell ourselves, never mind. Nobody know, but the Deva know. It's true, the Deva know. Until one day I got so fed up, I want to leave the temple. When I was sitting in the jetty at that time, I saw all these Deva, man and lady, they came down, offering flower to me, happy, and then they bow down and they go. Wow! From that moment onward, I just do. Who cares? Who want to do, don't do. I take it, it's my merit. It's my merit, I do. Wow! From that time onward, our attitude changed straight away, happily. Then we don't, it's okay. And nowadays, after many years, you see this monk, some of the people who don't want to train, don't want to be trained, then they suffered. Because why? Think they should do, they never do. And people will start to criticize. What kind of monk are you? Why you never do it? We don't have to do anything. Actions speak louder than words. Remember. So that should be the cause of action. Just as human being, like lay people at large. A person always do helping, rendering services to public. He will got his good reputation. Nobody will dare to offend him because such a good man, such a good lady, good person. But a person who always take advantage, people look at, they will just walk away. They will neither want to say anything. Same thing. So this is life. Life is a journey of learning. A journey of learning. Take what is good and leave what is no good. And that should be the approach. So if we don't have any bad feelings or unwholesome thought that are going to arise in us, then we're going to live happily everywhere we go. No problem. Temple big, never mind. We clean part by part today. Cannot clean the whole temple. Today we clean here, tomorrow we clean there. Slowly, the whole place will be clean. And this is how we live. This is how we solve problems. Happily, voluntarily, without grumbling in our mind. Then you can be happy. You don't have to be a happy man. Most of people happy is that when they see people, they start to smile, hey, and very happy. But after that, inside the mind full of this unwholesome thought that is clouding the mind. Why we allow this type of thing to happen? We got no space for this type of thought to come in. It's better to chant puto better. Okay? Puto ni na diที่สุดนะรับพร Okay, today is 39 years of this Audrey's mother's passing away, and she has all the while been coming here to participate in the offering, right? And is to transfer the merit to the parents, and this is something that is encourageable, always been encouraged by the Buddha, that when our parents is still alive, the elder people, we look after them. Look after them in terms of the four requisites, their clothing, their food, their medicine, and so forth. And in terms of the spiritual wealth, we encourage them to observe the precept, to listen to the Dhamma, to do chanting, to meditate. And after they're passing away, the Buddha never stopped there. The Buddha encouraged the sibling of the parents to transfer merits. On occasionally, it's better if you have what we call that, have the opportunity, right? Every time we do merits, we transfer and dedicate our merits to our deceased relative. And some people might dispute, why should we? They're already gone. Why? Yeah, there's what we call merits. Merits are just like electrical currents. It's just an analogy. But you can't see the electric current, right? But you can see wire, and there's current. You see when the wire is connected to a lamp bulb, it lights up the place. When the wire is connected to the aircon and we on the electricity, it cools up the place. It can become what we call it, a heater or so forth, right? So this current analogy of merits, it can be transferred and dedicated through the power of your mind. And with the goodness we've accumulated, we dedicate the merits to the deceased. And this has been encouraged and it has been confirmed by all the teachers of the past, teachers of the present, that there's this kind of existence and it can be done, right? And those deceased beings can actually benefit from our dedications of the merits. And last but not least, we dedicate the merits. That first thing is by the power of the triple gems and all the good merit we have accumulated from the past until now. May we dedicate these merits to our departed relative. That means your mom, your dad, your granddad, parents, and so forth. To your debtors. I always want to emphasize on debtors. That means beings that we have intentionally or unintentionally we have killed, we have hurt, injured, or we have abused in speech to certain people. Deep inside our heart, we ask for forgiveness from this kind of beings, and we will dedicate merit to them. This is to ease off all this kind of unwholesome thoughts between each party. This is very, very important. And furthermore is to the devas of the four quarters. The devas are divine beings, the angels, right? That is overlooking this world, helping human being in terms of trouble. We can't deny that it's existence. And beings in the cycles of birth, aging, illness, and death. And may those beings that connected to us, may they rejoice with the good deeds we have done, and may they gain a better rebirth. Rapon. Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sakarang eva beva nito tina petana upakapatit ichita badita tumha kipameva samichatu sape purentu sankapa Chandho panaraso yatha manicho diraso yatha Deya vivanchandu samharo govina saduma devava vandarayo sukhi degayo gobhava viva Tanasile sanichang buddha Vajayino chakaro dhamma vakanti ayuvanno sukhang Alaya samipade se kapete vasa parita jatiyo Sila vadeta mochetawa sanyate brahmacharino Yadata devata sunta sadakina madese Tapuchita pujayanti marita manayatina Tatonang anukampanti mata puta vaurasang Devata nukampito poso satabarani pasati Bhavatu sabhamangalang rakadu sabhadevata Sabha Buddha Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabha Mangala Rakadu Sabha Devata Sabha Dhamma Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabha Mangala Rakadu Sabha Devata Sabha Sangha Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te